Kratom it's like an opioid. So there's two types. There's opiates and opioids. The the two types of drugs that act on the opioid receptor. Opiates are things that come from the poppy. So these include poppy seeds, which sometimes you see in bagels. If you consume enough, you'll get high, and if you consume even more, you'll die. As well as concentrated forms, as such as morphine and heroin. Those are the only ones I know. Opioids are synthetic or semi-synthetic drugs that act on the opioid receptors. That includes like oxycontin and kratom. That's all I know. But unlike other opioids, kratom doesn't bind as strongly to the opioid receptor, and it is impossible to die from. Kratom has some self regulating properties, as in, if you go over a certain limit, you'll actually start to get less high, and you'll actually just purge the drug. You'll just puke and get really nauseous, but you cannot die or overdose from it. Unlike basically any other drug, including ibuprofen and Advil and all those, like it's kind of unique in that way. Um, it can be addictive, but its addictive potential is fairly low. Um, it's probably similar to coffee. The only risk is psychological addiction, as in anything that feels good. We are encouraged as humans to continue doing it. That's what psychological dependence can be, but it is not addictive. It's related to the coffee plant, or it can be addictive, I should say. It's related to the coffee plant. Um, so it is. It's actually the leaves of a tree. So there's a tree in Thailand, um, and the leaves of it are what they crush up and make. So the leaves have different colors. The ones I know of are the ones that are important are green, white, and red. White is the most energizing and the least like an opioid. Um, Green is balanced. That's what you're gonna see 80 to 90% of the time. I pretty much only do greens. I've done a red once, and I've never done a white. Red is the most like other opioids, so it's more pain relieving and it's more sedating. I'm less of a fan of that because I don't want to get fucked up pretty much. Um, and then within those different, they call them colored veins. I think because the vein of the leaf is actually different colored. The powder itself is different colors. So in Thailand, they traditionally chew them, similar to how they chew cocoa leaves in South America. But in Malaysia, the other most popular place that they use kratom, I call it kratom. Over there, it's pronounced kratom, but it just makes me sound like a jackass, to be honest. Anyways, so yeah, what was my thought? So yeah, the way to make it is there's essentially three different ways, but two ways I people actually do it. The first is you take the powder and you put it in a liquid and you mix it up. I use water, but things like chocolate milk and orange juice help cover up the taste. Or what you do is you take the powder and you put some sort of acidic to bring out the alkaloids. Those are the active compounds, the things that give pain relief, the things that change your mental state. You put some sort of acid, usually lemon juice, and then hot water to make a tea. Um, and then, anyways, within the different veins, like green, white, and red, there are different strains that provide different effects. Generally, they fall into three different categories: faster strains like Maeng Da, um, moderate strains like Indo Super Green. It's one of my personal favorites. That's the one I've done the most of. And Bali is the most common slow strain. Bali and Maeng Da are the two most common. And that's pretty much all you need to know. And the effects of kratom depend both on the strain and where it was grown. So a lot of these strains have like different misnomers to tell like how they were like where they were grown. Um, and then the last thing to mention is, and this holds true for pretty much all kratom, slower like when you take less of it, you get a stimulating effect. When you take more, you get more of a sedating effect. So generally, you take less during the day, and you can feel more energized. For a lot of people, it's like a cup of coffee. They don't even feel high. When you take more of it, you feel high. Like you feel sedated, you want to relax. It's really nice um, for at night. You're looking to chill, watching a movie or playing a video game, chilling out. It can also be good with friends, depending on what you want to do. I like to take less with friends. It really energizes. And what kratom does is it's a super super social drug. Like it's one of the I mean, I socialize so much on it, and it's not like incoherent, like you would be on alcohol or marijuana. It's you are still yourself. You're just ultra social. So really, and it's incredibly safer than alcohol. So a lot of people will take a little bit and then go to the pub with their friends, or hang out instead of have a couple drinks because it's essentially safer. So that's kratom in a nutshell.